LeBron doesn't need to live in the negativity of others to be great. He just is, baby. That's what he is. But one of the things that I don't agree with him on is Luka having to take the full load, because we saw pause to carry the offensive load. I don't think that's true, and honestly, I think that's more of a recipe for a loss. I believe that Luka needs to focus a lot more on getting his team involved. I don't want to go on a Darvin Ham rant, because if I go on a Darvin Ham rant, I'm going to make this long video even longer. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. If you know me, you know who I am. If you don't, my name is Trey Fab. I'm a React content creator. I like to react to different things, whether that be basketball, the modern NBA, and different basketball creators in general. And I also like to react to YouTube, TikTok nonsense drama. So if you like brain rot, I'm the guy for you. And if you like basketball insight, I'm the guy for you. With that being said, today we're going to be reacting to Mike Korzemba's video. They made Luka Doncic mad and instantly regret it. Before we go ahead and get that started, I do want to take a look at the playoff brackets, see how that's doing, see where the teams be at. I understand that nothing really changed. Everything's really going on schedule as far as my own bracket goes. I said that the Nuggets and Clippers were going to go up to 7. It's looking that way, especially how close the games have been. I said the Lakers would win in 5. I'm not sure how confident I am in that, but I still think they're going to win. I said the Rockets would win, I think, in 6. Especially if Jimmy Butler is still injured. As far as his injury goes, though, he's a game time decision. I know he's getting an MRI today. He should be okay. The Warriors feel optimistic about him, but we'll see what happens. I hope he's okay. If you guys didn't see, he had a nasty fall last night in Houston, so hopefully he's all right. We'll see what happens from there. And then obviously the Grizzlies are dog water, so they're getting mollywopped by the Thunder. I'm not going to say the Heat are dog water, but obviously Cleveland's just better than them. So these two series might end up in sweeps. I said that this one was definitely going to be a sweep, but I thought this one was going to be at least 5 games. These two might actually be sweeps, but as for the rest of these series, I said the Pacers would win in 6. I hope they do, because my bracket's in trouble if they don't. I don't know what's going on with Milwaukee. I thought they would lose, but damn. I don't think they're going to get swept, though. Celtics, I said they would sweep. Knicks and Pistons, I said the Knicks would win in like 6. So a lot of these are working out as far as what my bracket is looking like, but we'll see. Can't go off of anything really. Let's see what team goes up 2-1. Let's see if these teams are able to win a game. We'll come back here in a couple days and really look at what the playoffs are looking like. But Jimmy Butler, hopefully he comes back fully healed. Hopefully he's all right. Lakers, they're looking really good, and obviously we're about to talk about them. The Warriors, they're looking kind of shaky. Even if Jimmy Butler stayed in the game, I did not like how they played last night, but I guess one game, so can't judge too much. And then obviously the Celtics, I think they can win without Jason Tatum this series, but they need him back to next one for sure. But moving on, let's go ahead and get this video started, shall we?
Lakers just proved one thing, despite the doubt and hate they received after a 22-point Game 1 loss. The Lakers are ready to do whatever it takes to put that memory behind them and make a deep playoff run. And it appears that this team is going to go as far as Luka Doncic can take them. Throughout the first 2 games of this year's playoffs, Luka is averaging 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists per game.
Luka's a beast. That's one thing I say about Luka, right? Luka is a beast offensively, and he better be, because defensively he is not the greatest. I will say he stepped up a lot. Luka stepped up a lot last night as far as defensively. I do respect him for doing that, and I do love the energy that JJ has. If you guys are aware, JJ called a timeout and said, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" I love that energy. I love the fact that this team is holding themselves accountable for losses, and also holding themselves accountable even if they're winning when it seems like the win is starting to slip away. Because keep in mind, JJ just yelled at them when they were still up by double digits, but it doesn't matter because they were letting it slip away. Now, they still ended up winning the game and went on like a 9-0 run after that timeout that JJ called and yelled at them. But I do like that this team holds each other accountable. I do like that Luka's holding himself accountable as far as defense goes. And if Luka's able to just hold a level... Here's the thing with defense, right? It's about effort. it's mainly about effort, right? Obviously, there's better defenders than others. You can try and just be bad, but it's about effort, right? No one's saying being the best defender is about effort, just being a good one. And Luka can be a good defender. It's just that he puts a lot of his energy in the offensive side of the ball, which is fair. Which is fair. I'm just saying I would like him to try more, which he has been doing, so I do want to give him that credit. And I am happy that he has been doing that, but baby goat, continue to help this Laker team get to a championship, baby, huh?
And Luka is not afraid of a Game 1 loss. The Mavericks last season took a 12-point loss to the Clippers in Game 1 of Round 1 and then went on a run to the NBA Finals. And let's remember, the Mavericks also beat the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals to get there. In that series, where Anthony Edwards was being hyped up as the face of the league as Michael Jordan's son, Luka averaged 32.4 points, 9.6 rebounds, 8.2 assists, and 2.2 steals per game, as he not only outplayed Ant, but also carried Dallas to a 5-game series win. I think we can all agree that after last year's playoffs, after watching Luka take down the Oklahoma City Thunder, if Luka Doncic is on your team and he is playing at the best of his ability, you are going to have a chance at a big-time playoff run. But for the Lakers this season, there is still one giant question we have to ask. So what's up, Mike here? And the question is Anthony Edwards' trash talk backfiring in real time? We just watched Anthony Edwards slide into the Lakers shoot-around, talk some trash, and it looked like it was all in good fun. But if we're being honest here, we've seen this kind of trash talk ignite both Luka and LeBron in past seasons. Game 1 was a serious wake-up call, but in that game, Ant may have gone too far with this.
You suck!
That's a little much. I think he got fined for this, if I'm not mistaken, $50K. Which is, it is what it is. I guess you're allowed to talk trash to fans, but I guess what you say matters. Listen, here's what I have to say. I don't know if the trash talk really ignited Luka. Luka feeds off of negativity, though, right? That's why if you hear stories about Michael Jordan, he would just make shit up about other players. He would just make shit up because he would want to be angry about something to play great. And that's one thing with my GOAT. He can just go out there and play great. He doesn't need to make shit up. That's one thing about Bron, baby. Bron doesn't need to live in the negativity of others to be great. He just is, baby. That's what he is. But I think when it comes down to Luka, he is like that old school type of I need you to hate me to be great type shit. But he's still great without it. So yeah, I do think the trash talk didn't help, but I'm not sure if it was even that much. At the end of the day, the Timberwolves are good, but it seems like when it comes to their offense, it's very stifled. If Ant doesn't have it in his hands, it's just like one-on-one. They don't know what they're doing. And it's kind of infuriating, especially since the Timberwolves are not a bad team. They have a good core, but I don't know what Finch is doing. I don't know what the hell's happening, and I don't know why the hell would Ant-Man... After the game, Ant-Man would say, oh, they're running a lot of zone. I didn't see that before. Why would you sit there and talk about the opposition and what they're doing successfully against you? So now they can make adjustments either to continue to do that since, it seems to be bothering you, or even adjust it a little bit since you've been pointing it out too much. What are you doing? That is not... And he has a good basketball IQ. I mean, granted, he was able to point out the zones and realize it's happening against him. But goddamn, Ant, you don't point that out. You leave that be. You keep that to yourself. And like, damn, that's crazy. And if they ask me, they're like, yeah, at the end of the day, they're defending well. And that's it. God damn, bro. So the downfall of the Timberwolves, but that's because he's young. What is he, 23? The downfall of the Timberwolves is simply just going to be because if the ball's not in Ant's hand, it seems like the team doesn't know what to do. And Ant-Man, as much as we love him, he runs his mouth a little too much, not just with trash talking, even take away trash talking. You never want your opponent to know what they're doing well against you or what they should fix against you. You never want to give them that. Ant should know that, and that was just not smart. So the Timberwolves are definitely going to lose this series. I'm putting that in the I'm stamping that shit. It's just, yeah, I don't know what's happening. I feel like if anybody really, a great coach deserves to lose their job, as much as people may disagree with me on this one, I'm going to be honest, Finch deserves to lose his job. Y'all may not feel the same on that one, but here, I'm going to look up, give me a second. I need to look up his playoff record. It's not the hottest. Give me a second. We're going to look up his playoff record. Chris Finch's playoff record. Yeah, he's 12-15 in the playoffs. Or 13-16. Is he 13-16 or 12-15? Okay, well, according to StatMoose, he's 13-16 in the playoffs. I like Chris Finch. I like him a lot. I think he's a good coach. But if we're really going to get rid of someone like Mike Malone, I'm sorry. I feel like Finch has probably got to go. Because I cannot imagine JJ is a first-year head coach. I could not imagine JJ allowing someone like Gabe Vincent. I know Gabe Vincent's not young. I'm just throwing names out there. Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, or Bronny. Let's say Bronny, because he is young. I can imagine someone like Bronny, who's not even playing that many minutes, come out and be like, yeah, they were throwing crazy zones at us, and we didn't know how to handle it. JJ would throw a fit. It just would never happen. It would never happen, because that's one thing you kind of preach as a coach. We don't divulge game plans, and we don't tell the team what they're doing against us and what we see. Like, that's just something we don't do, so we'll see what happens. I never want to call for a coach's job. I don't like doing that. I don't want to do that. I'm just saying, if we're really going to get rid of Malone, then maybe Finch should be looked at too. Because so far, even though the Timberwolves won Game 1, I mean, Game 2, they outscored the Lakers by 10 points in all 3 quarters. Like, the Lakers did not play good, barring the first quarter. The Lakers played like shit. Like, they got 60 points through 3 quarters, dog. Like, they played bad. They were like, what? They only hit like 5-6 3-pointers? Like, they played bad. The Lakers have not played good at all. And you still lost. So, I don't know. By double digits, too. We'll see what happens.
Hilarious, definitely, but Anthony Edwards was fined $50,000 for this, and while Ant himself thrives on being a trash talk menace, both Luka and LeBron have proven to us that poking the bear is a losing strategy against them. Let's remember, down 3-1 against the Warriors in the 2016 NBA Finals, a Warriors team that won 73 games. Draymond Green was suspended for Game 5 of the Finals, and Klay Thompson went to the press conference and said this.
I mean, trash talk is it's a part of the game in basketball. I guess his feelings just got hurt.
LeBron and the Cavs went on to win the next 3 games, taking the 2016 NBA championship in a remarkable comeback, as LeBron showed us. Don't poke the bear. Luka has done the exact same thing. In 2022, playing the #1 seeded Suns before their franchise imploded. In the Western Conference semifinals, the Suns took a 3-2 lead over the Mavericks and taunted Luka relentlessly throughout Game 5. Luka was caught walking off of the court saying, and after this, the Mavericks not only came back, they won Game 6 by 27 and Game 7 by 33. The Suns learned not only to not poke the bear, their franchise has been in shambles ever since. Now, of course, this is a different team, a different scenario, but at times the Lakers did show us the potential we would need to see from a championship type roster. Before we dive into those clips though, if you are enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications. We are grinding in the playoffs here, only if you like the content though. I'd really appreciate it. And now let's watch this clip. Here was the dagger for the Lakers, and it shows us a lot about this team.
This was one thing I really loved about LeBron's is he was kind of the head. They did not win because of their offense last night. Anyone who watched that game last night knows that. They did not win because of their offense. I'm not really worried about that too much, because if the Lakers were just always known as a bad team offensively, or didn't have offensive weapons like they do, like LeBron, like AR, like Luka, even Rui, okay, Gabe off the bench, like if they didn't have like offensive weapons, I'd be worried. Or Dorian Finney-Smith, like they do have offensive weapons. They just have not been playing well. But they won last night because of their defense. And it was because of this man anchoring that defense. And this was, to me, the dagger play, like he's about to say. Stealing it off Ant-Man and going in for
Timberwolves still had a chance up until this point, but LeBron stepped up when he was needed, which is very promising for Lakers fans, but we still have two questions going into Game 3 and for the entire playoffs. One, has Father Time caught up to LeBron? And two, is the Lakers defense good enough to win a title without a true center? Because losing Game 1 really is no big deal. The adjustments you make after that loss are what matter. To prove this, in the 2020 playoffs, the Lakers lost Game 1 in the first round to the Blazers, and alarms were sounded. Everyone started doubting them, only they went on to win the next 4 games in that series and took the 2020 NBA championship. They won that title after also losing Game 1 of the second round to the Rockets, a series where they also won the next 4 games after a Game 1 loss. But in order for this team to make a giant run, from what we've seen so far, it looks like Luka Doncic is going to need to carry a massive scoring load. If we watch Minnesota's game plan in Game,
I don't think that's necessarily true. Honestly, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think he's actually wrong on that. Listen, I love Mike. Sometimes I just disagree with him as far as his analysis goes. But, you know, ball heads are going to disagree with ball heads. Sometimes we're not going to always agree on everything. If you're talking even with your homie and you guys agree on every single thing basketball-wise, one of you guys don't know ball. I'm sorry. There's going to be things that you guys don't fully agree on. It just happens. But one of the things that I don't agree with him on is Luka having to take the full load. Because we saw... Pause. Luka does not have to take the full load. Pause. Because we saw him get, 37 in Game 1, and they still lost by double digits. We saw him drop damn near like 40 against the Nuggets, and they still lost. Now, granted, a lot of people were injured in that second go-around with the Nuggets. But I don't think him carrying the offensive load is needed. I don't think that's what they need. I think they need Luka to make sure he gets everyone involved in the game. Right? I said this after the Game 1 loss in my YouTube shorts. If you guys are ever wondering as far as like videos go, I post like 3 drama videos a week, 3 basketball videos a week, like 5 to 6 days a week. Sometimes 5, mostly 5, sometimes 6 if I'm feeling up for it and I ain't got a lot to do. But nonetheless, I will post like a YouTube short like every day, something just me ranting real quick, whether that be basketball or WWE, whatever the case may be. But I've said this in my YouTube short when I was talking about the Lakers losing against Minnesota. I said that Luka, love him, he cannot... Him, LeBron, and AR cannot make up 98% of your offensive load. They can make up 90. Yes, 8% is a large difference. They can make up 90. They can make up 85. But if you want your team to win, I'm going to need to get at least 30 to 40 points a night from your bench. And it's capable of doing so. Rui can get you about 10. Gabe can get you about 10. Dorian Finney-Smith can get you about 10. And that's 30 right there. Jackson Hayes... on a nightly basis should get you about 5. So they should get 30 to 40 points from their role players a night, and they have the offensive weapons to do so. They do. Rui's good. Gabe is good. He just pisses me off sometimes with the misses he has. And Dorian Finney-Smith is good. All right? These guys are good offensively. Jared Vanderbilt, I get he's there for defense, okay? He can't hit a shot in the ocean. Not going to happen. But when it comes to these other players that they have on their team, Luka's not on a team full of just bums and scrubs. He does not need to carry this entire load. He just needs to make sure he gets the other players involved. Make sure that he gets the ball in their hands because they're going to double him and even triple him at times, right? LeBron and AR just need to drop their 20. Okay, and then you get 30 from the rest of the role players, you're good to go. Like, we don't need Luka to drop 40 a night to win. His 30 is fine. Hell, 25 would be great. If you got 25 from Luka, 25 from Bron, and 25 from AR, somewhere around that range, and you go ahead and have a good defensive outing, and you get 30 to 40 from your role players, you're going to win those games. So, yeah, I disagree with Luka needing to carry the offensive load. I don't think that's true. And honestly, I think that's more of a recipe for a loss. I believe that Luka needs to focus a lot more on getting his team involved. Get his shots, get him up, get his touches, but he needs to get his team involved.
2. We see that as the Lakers built up their lead with just over 4 minutes to go in the first, Minnesota's defensive scheme was apparent. They let Luka go one-on-one, they didn't attack him with double teams and allow other players to get open shots, and we saw this throughout the game. Here in the second quarter again, Luka catches it near half court, and he just has his man on an island and goes to work and scores. 1 minute later, same story. Luka versus Gobert one-on-one, Luka scores. Then to show you that this just didn't change, 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter, Luka goes one-on-one versus Julius Randle, and what do we know? He scores. The Timberwolves in game 2 figured that a Luka one-man show would not be enough to get a win. They were wrong, but Los Angeles only scored 94 points as both LeBron and Austin Reeves need to get going here. Headed into this year's playoffs, a lot of people have said that Austin Reeves is the best third option in the entire NBA. In the last 17 games of the regular season, he averaged 24.9 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 5.4 assists per game. Elite stats from a third option. But in the playoffs so far, Reeves has averaged just 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. His ability to create his own offense is going to be huge for a Lakers run. The X factor for Los Angeles, though, is of course LeBron James. Just last season, despite an early playoff loss to the Nuggets, LeBron averaged 27.8 points, 6.8 rebounds, 8.8 assists, and 2.4 steals per game in that 5-game series loss. He also shot 56.6% from the field. He did what he could. The Lakers roster just didn't have enough.
But no, it's all LeBron's fault. Fucking true shooting. He had a field goal percentage of 56, 2.4 steals per game, 8.8 assists per game, 6.8 rebounds, 27. But LeBron just didn't do enough in those games. And obviously stats are not everything, because I actually watched those games. And I said it then. And I'll say it again. And if you're a Lakers fan, you definitely will agree with this. The Lakers, I don't even think, again, fuck. I love Mike. But this may be the second time I disagree with him. I don't even think necessarily the Lakers didn't have enough. I'm not sure I fully agree with that. I literally will just say it's the coaching. Because if you look at it, it was a crazy stat. A crazy stat. I wish I could find it for you. I know you're just going to have to take my word. I get it. If you don't take my word, that's okay. But I'm not going to sit here and try to look it up. Because I know I tried looking it up before. It took me forever to even find something kind of similar. So I had to use ChatGPT and it wasn't helping. But there was a stat put up on ESPN a year ago. And I thought it was crazy. I took a screenshot. So I can go through my phone later tonight and I'll see if I can find it. But keep in mind, obviously this was a year ago. And it said the Nuggets and the Lakers, who had more time like leading. And it said the Lakers were leading damn near like triple the amount of time in these games than the Nuggets were leading. It was insane. The Lakers would just build a lead, have it for damn near the whole game, and just dwindle it down in the last few minutes. It would happen every single game. Even the closeout game that the Lakers had against the Nuggets, where the Nuggets were about to close them out, everybody thought, including me, the game was going to go to a game 6. Everybody. Because they're like, oh, this game is pretty much over. The Lakers were leading by double digits up until midway through the third. And then they started to dwindle the lead, and they lost it in the fourth. And I think the Nuggets didn't lead until like a minute to go in the fourth, and it was back and forth. And then obviously Jamal Murray hits that game winner on Anthony Davis. But I feel like that's coaching, in my opinion. I do. Because if you have enough to build up a crazy lead, to build up a lead that's just great, and then it dwindles down every single time towards the third and fourth quarter, sometimes the end of the third, fourth quarter, then maybe that has more to do with your team leader, which would be your coach, versus the player. That's my opinion. So I feel like the Lakers had enough. I don't know if they were going to go on a championship run, but god damn, I just think Darvin Ham just, as a coach, was just atrocious. The shit he would do. Like the fact that the Nuggets would go on a large run and he wouldn't call a timeout at all. Every single time. They're pulling back into the game and he would just let it run. The fucking sets he was putting up, the things he was doing, no adjustments whatsoever. It was... I don't want to go on a Darvin Ham rant. Because if I go on a Darvin Ham rant, I'm going to make this long video even longer. I'm just saying. Don't like the guy. Not a good coach. Point blank, period. And I'm happy that it seems like the Lakers have a good coach right now. Game 1 wasn't the best. Even Game 2 offensively, they weren't great. But I like that JJ's getting in their ass. And not only that, he's making adjustments. And good ones is that. So we'll see what happens with Game 3. We'll see what adjustments happen there. Because offensively, they need to take off. And we'll go from there. But damn. I'm not sure I'd say 100%. Yeah, the Lakers were just outmatched. Because I do think they might have had enough. Just that coaching staff, man. Jesus.
Now, though, Luka's averaging a near 30-point triple-double, but LeBron has finally looked like a human being. In games 1 and 2, he's averaged just 20 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1.5 steals per game. He shot just 43.2% from the field. We know he dealt with a groin injury to end the regular season, and it looks like it could still be plaguing him. We will see. If that is the case, it is going to be tough for the Lakers to make an extended playoff run. I do think, though, that no matter what, if you love LeBron or not, we can all agree, never bet against him. He has had some subpar stretches in the past, and then responded with some of the best basketball we have ever seen. So while this is something we need to look out for headed forward, I will always bet on LeBron until his play for a full series proves otherwise. But even if LeBron does step up, the Lakers still have a massive question with their lineup. Who do they play at center? Jackson Hayes played just 8 minutes in game 1 and 9 minutes in game 2. That means the Lakers for the playoffs so far, at least in this series, have decided to go small. Rui Hachimura has played 77% of his minutes at center. Jared Vanderbilt has played 91% of his minutes at center. JJ just does not trust Jackson Hayes to play extended minutes. And we have seen why, as at times Hayes has had some basketball IQ mishaps out on the court. And I do have to say, the Lakers defense in game 2 needs some.
I want to talk about a play that happened yesterday. Jackson Hayes does piss me off at times. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you as well. Vanderbilt at times kind of pisses me off, but I still respect him. He got an offensive foul on one end, and they got a defensive foul on the other, literally back to back, but I digress. Yesterday, Jackson Hayes, bro, the ball is going to be short, 100%. I can see that sitting here as a fan. I know you see that as a basketball player under the hoop. The ball's going to be short, and Jackson Hayes, for whatever reason, trying to hype up the crowd, jumps up and smacks it to get a goaltend. Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you don't know the rules? You don't understand the rules? Like, come on, bro. Yeah, Jackson Hayes' basketball IQ is not the best. I'm not going to disagree with Mike on that one. Could be better. But I do think he's okay as far as center goes, especially against a team like the Timberwolves. And I feel like he should get more minutes only because I think the Timberwolves will go down to the Lakers. They will lose, so I don't think you have to really sit him too much. I do know that JJ's kind of experimenting here, but yeah. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I don't know if the Lakers are going to go all the way to the finals. If they do, that'd be crazy. And if they end up getting there against the Celtics, I obviously would say the Celtics probably have the better chance to win. But I would only lean towards the Lakers basketball-wise because of the fucking hellish road they would have to get through. Because what? They would have to beat the Timberwolves, which is still a tough team to beat. They would have to face the Rockets or the Warriors. Then they would have to face the Nuggets or the Clippers. And then they would have to face OKC. I was gonna say OKC or Memphis, but it's OKC. No, sorry, my brain is stupid. They would have to face OKC or the Nuggets, and they would have to face the Rockets or the Warriors. So those last two matchups, let's say it's the Warriors and then the Nuggets. That would be insane. Or let's say it's the Rockets and then the Thunder. That would be insane. Like, it would be a tough matchup no matter what the last two rounds holds for them. So I think if they get to the finals, they could hold their own against Boston. Obviously, I think Boston would be the favorite, and rightfully so. But I think they could hold their own against Boston. Or Cleveland. Let's not sleep on Cleveland now. They've been playing good themselves.
Credit, as is their game plan. We know on the offensive end, Austin Reeves and LeBron can play better, but defense is ultimately what wins championships, and in game 1, Los Angeles gave up 25 fast break points and scored only 6 themselves. In game 2, they flipped the switch and locked the Timberwolves down to only 6 fast break points, while the Lakers scored 13. Going small, Los Angeles also lost the rebound battle by 6 in game 1. That changed in game 2, they won the rebound battle by 7. These are the kind of effort stats we are looking for a team that does learn from their mistakes in a game 1 series loss, and still has a chance to make a deep playoff run or even win the NBA championship. We watched Golden State play Draymond Green heavy minutes at the center spot in their 2022 championship run, and it worked perfectly. I think the Lakers going small is their best chance. I think they're in a good position here, as we know LeBron James and Austin Reeves are capable of much more than they showed in games 1 and 2. I want to know, what do you think down below? Are the Lakers championship contenders, or is this team getting overhyped because of the Luka Doncic trade? And there we have it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching. If you are new to the channel, it would be awesome if you subscribed and turn on post notifications, only if you like the video though. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You are awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day, and cue that music.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Respect you, Mike. Jesus, these Lakers take game 2 and stay alive. I guess in a way. Here's what I got to say, dog. I do think when it comes down to the Lakers, if they end up winning this year, they could be like the first back-to-back team. Obviously, because Boston would have been, but they either would have took out Boston or Cleveland would have took out Boston. The East is kind of weak, dog. There's only 2 teams coming out of that East. But when it comes down to next year, the reason I say they could go back-to-back is because they have the chance to win this year, and they have like a hole in their roster. I said it in the beginning when the Luka Doncic trade happened, is why I felt like they weren't going to be able to make a deep playoff run. But if they're able to do so without a center, a true center, if they're able to do so without a true center and win the championship, and then they go in the offseason and get a center, bruh, you can call me delusional. I'm just giving you the facts here. If they're able to win a championship this year, get a center in the offseason without losing too many pieces and keeping AR, and then run it back, they're winning that chip, baby. I'm sorry. And a lot of you are just going to have to be
Daddy watching on from the sideline.
That's what you just got to have to watch Daddy play from the sideline. Okay, so hope you guys like the content. If you got anything you want me to react to, please like, comment, subscribe. Please comment anything you want me to react to. Please let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you know you're beautiful. And until next time, my friends, I love you. I'll see you. Peace out.